This video is on the what portion of Watson investigations. We're going to talk about creating them, what they are, and using them. They're not that complex. This really isn't that deep of a topic, but it's a little bit more complex than some of the other parts of Watson investigation, so I thought I'd give it its own video. Anyway, we're going into Watson here. We just got to grab an investigation. We'll stick with our overview, and then we'll go straight to what. All right. So first, again, ignore the name crime types here. Let's say maybe you're investigating e-discovery, maybe you're internal HR, whatever you want to call these. Again, you can localize it to your heart's content and call it investigations or whatever. But again, think of it as category of investigation. That's kind of how you should think of it. If you're police, maybe it's crime. If you're in corporate, maybe it's HR incident. If you're in legal, maybe it's litigation type. But you want to create these categories such that they're broad enough so as to catch all the similar. You want to make them broad enough so that there will be a good number of investigations of that type. Like if I had robbery in Newport Beach, which is where I live, that might be too narrow. First of all, there's nothing probably unique about Newport relative to the rest of the country. So I'd rather choose robbery. But I don't want a category as broad as, let's say, crime, right? That's too broad. That will get way too many investigations, and they don't really have anything similar about them. The point of these categories is to enable you to catch, if you will, all similar type investigations. So again, we just have a few set up here. I want to show you how we make these in a second. But let's go first to data types. What type of data types are relevant in this case? To be clear, some of these things at the moment don't do anything. This button will trigger image recognition, but these sub-buttons at the moment don't do anything. It will run all the image recognition. I am leaving them here because we will be enabling them hopefully in the near future. But if in some distant time you see these are gone, it's because we weren't able to enable them. Mobile data runs our mobile parsers, and chats runs the Belkasoft parsers. These other things at the moment do not do anything, but again, we're keeping the categories broad enough, we're keeping the capabilities broad enough so that we can build the AI more meaningfully in the near future without you having to go back and check boxes. So again, these are the three that have actual impact at the moment. And then search terms, these are just miscellaneous things. They're not generic to... They're not common enough to this crime type such that we will make them as part of the crime. But the investigator wants to put them in. Maybe they're suspect driven, maybe they're location driven, something unique about this crime that you just want to include as part of your, if you will, the what category. So we allow you to create that, just add as many of these terms as you want. When we run this, ultimately it will become our what filters, as we see when we did the Watson investigation overview video. But let me go show you how to create crime types. We go into our admin widget, which is, right here. And we go to crime types. And it really is as simple as clicking this button. And then let's pretend we are part of a law firm now, and we're going to do IP theft. Right? We're part of a firm that gets a lot of IP theft cases, and we want to make that a crime type or an investigation type. In IP theft, we obviously want to search for the term intellectual property. I can't spell, so I probably spelled that wrong. Forgive me. We want... Then how about intellectual property? And then how about, we'll just do, I don't know, take. Now notice a couple things. One is I did not put a space between the two terms. you shouldn't put a space. You should just leave just the semicolon and then continue on. I don't need a semicolon after the last one, though I think you're free to put one. Learn searches I'm going to leave blank. And then tags, now I want to create the type of tags that are going to be generic enough to this crime type. So we're going to do IP, semicolon, we'll do key, or we'll do important. This time we'll spell it better. We'll do theft. I don't know. Again, I don't know what tags are relevant to an IP theft case. But whatever they are, you want to create enough of them so that you will offer pretty good coverage to your investigator. Remember, these are going to get created automatically every time they select this type of investigation. Number one. Number two, you want them to be able to use them because these are what the AI is going to watch. And since you want the AI to build and be as powerful as possible, the last thing in the world you want them to do is to have to go create more tags. You want them only to use the tags you create for them, at least for the generic concepts. Maybe they need a tag specific to their investigation. Maybe they need a tag called Tim because Tim's a key suspect. I don't know. That you wouldn't put here. But for these generic concepts, you want them to be, you want to create labels for them. Go ahead and save. It's as easy as that. And the next time we go into Watson and create an investigation, we will now have the IP theft as a type of crime that the user can choose. So let's go ahead and do that just so you can just so I can show you how it all fits together. Where is Watson? Here's Watson. And we're going to come back here and we're going to do a new one. And we're going to call it IP theft. And we'll just do, let's go into, I'm trying to pick one that I think doesn't have any labels in it already. We'll do the iPhone case. Hopefully that won't be, hopefully there aren't a billion labels already in it. And we're initializing. All right, and that was relatively quickly. Let's go to the what part. We don't care about who for the sake of this demo. And we're going to come over here and we're going to see we now have IP theft as one of the type of investigations we can choose. And so let's go ahead and choose that. And let's not do any of this. And let's not do this. Just keep this as clean as possible. And then we're going to go ahead and prepare this investigation. Okay, this should happen relatively quickly because we didn't really choose any processing options. In fact, I think the only thing we did here was to create some tags. So first, let's see. Okay, and here are the labels we just created: important, IP, and theft. And let me show you how this all sort of works together here. Let me run a search. I know the word help is in this case, and so we ran the word help, and we've got 200 some odd responses. Okay, and now we're going to just label a few. It doesn't really matter how many. And we're going to choose one of our key watched labels, if you will, and we're going to go ahead and apply that. Okay. Now, I just want to show you again what it is that the learn searches did, that the AI engine was doing. It noticed that we typed the word help and that we applied the one of our watched labels. And so it learned that search. It knows that the word help is for some reason relevant in IP theft cases. Now you might say, you're probably quick to jump to the statement, hey Tim, they're going to search on thousands of different things. Yet that's true. But over time, all the IP theft cases will have common threads. And so you'll start to see those key concepts emerge. And as they emerge, you'll be able to feed those back to investigators that are fresh, starting new IP theft cases as a way of much more rapidly moving them up the curve. So hopefully that was effective. Again, pretty quick explanation of the what, but I think important to effectively using the Watson investigations. Thank you very much.